Your tax return is due on April 15th, unless you file an extension. But if you owe the government money, do you know when that payment is due? Hi there, my name is Mindy Jensen, and I'm the host of the BiggerPockets Money Podcast. Joining me today is Natalie Kolodij, the real estate tax specialist from Kolodij Tax and Consulting, to talk about everyone's favorite topic, giving the government more money in the form of taxes.
Thanks for having me, Mindy. I am very excited to chat about this.
So I saw something you posted on Facebook that was a bit surprising to me, and I wanted to share it with all of my viewers.
Yeah, so this Facebook post was actually something I got a lot of feedback on where people were really surprised by this. I think a lot of people do not know that if you file an extension for your tax return, it's actually an extension to file, but it is not an extension to pay.
So wait, what does that mean? If my taxes are due on April 15th and I file an extension that gives me until October 15th, you're saying that I still have to pay my taxes on April 15th?
Correct. April 15th is still the deadline for payment, even if it is not when you file. So what this means is that if you need to extend your tax return for any number of reasons, you just need more time. Sometimes this is a good strategy for lending too, where your lender would rather use your prior year return, so you don't want to file your new return yet. For any of the reasons, if you're extending your tax return, you should still look at if you need to make an estimated payment by April 15th to avoid any interest and penalties on the amount you owe.
But if I haven't done my taxes yet, how do I know how much I owe?
Oh, well, mostly you use a crystal ball and some luck.
Okay.
But what you can also try to do is kind of an estimate. So there's a combination of things, but if you're working with a tax professional, they can typically generate an estimate for you where it's kind of a ballpark. So we're using the information we have so far and creating a best guess estimate because that's sort of what you're supposed to do. And then you can send that amount in. Another option is if you're self-employed, you can be making quarterly payments where they kind of are doing this estimate for you throughout the year. So by April 15th, you should have paid in what you owe. We're on a pay-as-you-go system. So if they're doing those quarterly estimates and you're sending in a quarterly amount, then you're not stressed if you have to file an extension in April. So you can chip away at it, or you can pay it all by April to avoid this penalty, but you do not want to wait until you file. If you file an extension, you still want to send in what you owe as soon as you can.
So what if I don't pay enough in my estimate in April?
Yeah, so there are some safe harbor amounts where if you don't owe much difference, where either if you are within $1,000, it might not impact you, but the worst case is there would be a little bit of penalty and interest on the amount that is unpaid as of the due date. So it's also important to be mindful that it calculates retroactively. So if you don't file till October and you still owed, say, $5,000, it's going to go back and calculate the interest and penalties on that $5,000 as of April 15th, not as of the date you file. So you really want to try to get as close as you can. And it's one of those situations where anything is better than nothing. So if you're really not sure, you don't have the time to calculate it, whatever the case is, sending in some kind of payment is always going to help reduce that penalty versus ignoring it and kind of head in the sand, ostriching it until you file. Just kind of do the best you can, and it's going to help keep you from accruing extra costs.
Why would anyone file an extension if you still have to pay in April or pay fines?
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons. Anyone invested in a syndication should be aware that they might have to file an extension. A lot of those K-1 forms you receive come out really late, and sometimes they come out after the deadline because a lot of those syndications might file an extension. So if you're waiting on a form from a partnership and that partnership filed an extension, well, they don't have to finish till September now. So if they won't complete theirs and give you your form until August or September, you won't have everything you need to file in April. So be aware if you're in a syndication, you might need to file an extension. And again, lenders. So talk to your lender if your prior year tax return is more attractive for qualifying than what your current year's is going to be. They might tell you, we can use that as long as your current year's on extension. So extend the current year, hold off on finalizing that, and they might get to use those more attractive numbers from the prior year, or you just may not have it together. And that's fine. That happens to the best of us. If you literally just need more time, that is what it is there for. So there's all kinds of reasons you can't. Just know that it doesn't give you more time to pay necessarily. It's just more time to get it all together. So you might be sort of paying a didn't have it together cost by accruing a penalty if you don't at least try to make a payment by April 15th.
Natalie, thank you for this information and for these tips. Where can people find you online?
Yeah, you can find me at kolotax.com or on all social at RETaxStrategist.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Natalie. For the BiggerPockets Money channel, this is Mindy Jensen and Natalie Kolodij signing off.